Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're going to take a look at each Wayfinder's backstory heading into early access. There's so much to uncover as we begin this journey, and we'll be there to learn all the mysteries as we follow the game, new seasons, new characters, and stories. If you enjoy the Wayfinder content, then make sure to subscribe as there's much more on the way. Every character has a unique point of view in how to navigate the gloom and world of Evanor. We, the players, are provided short backstories to give us insight into our heroes' perspectives, personalities, relationships, and experiences that ultimately shape their motives and ideals. Over time, we will learn about each individual Wayfinder and connect moments of time to uncover truths obscured by the gloom. Wingrave is an Archon Templar wearing spell-forged armor and sustained by his faith in the Architects. He's a natural leader and true champion, always ready to defend the innocent and to smite the forces of evil. Long before the Gloomfall, he fought monsters in the shadows and defended the people of the Empire from the terrifying threats of the maze. These are the things that Wingrave's Echo remembers when he's first reborn. Of all the champions, Wingrave is the one who most feels like a hero, a true champion of light. However, as the player uncovers more of Wingrave's past, they'll uncover the darker side of the Empire and the Archons, such as not all denizens of the maze are monsters, and brutal actions like the massacre of the monks at Aurelian. Ultimately, Wingrave's Echo will have the opportunity to be a better man than the original, to live up to his ideals and be the champion he could and should have been. Senja, a legend across the Avar Imperium, the greatest champion ever to grace the arena. Where many gladiators face death with grim resolve, Senja delights in every battle. Even now, Senja still hears the crowds when she fights, still imagines the cheering throngs urging her on. In truth, she loves battle because it's a distraction from her pain. Senja comes from the dominion of the Seven Winds, a place where arcane magic is woven into the everyday life, where arcanists and war masters alike wield power over the elements. While she is far from home, the storm still answers her call. She is the last of the Iron Sisters, a proud order of deadly warriors. She doesn't talk about what happened to her sisters, but there's no question that their loss is a knife in her heart. That whatever happened in the Dominion drove Senja to the other side of the world and into the endless distraction of the arena. Now that the gloom has swallowed the arena, Senja needs a new battle to distract her from her pain, and the gloom is the greatest enemy of all. Senja is a fearless warrior and indomitable foe, but as an Echo returned from the gloom, there's much she can't remember. She remembers fighting alongside the Iron Sisters, but she can't remember exactly how they fell. She remembers countless battles in the arena, but she knows she can't remember every enemy she faced, and the possibility of forgotten enemies coming back to haunt her. Niss is kin to the shadows, and darkness serves as her weapon and her cloak. She is one of the Deep Eldrin, an ancient people who now serve the malevolent Precursors. When Niss and her clan challenged the Precursors, her family was wiped out and Niss escaped into exile. Deadly and swift, Niss cares little for humanity. But she has sworn to destroy the Precursors, and the Seekers can help her take her revenge. The Eldrin are the first children of the Broken World, formed from the blood of infinites spilled in the Aegis War. There are Eldrin of the woods and water, but Niss is one of the Deep Eldrin, born in the abyss of stone and soul untouched by the sun. Her people shape shadows like clay, and Niss mastered the shadow dance as a child, learning to sculpt shielding shrouds and deadly blades from insubstantial darkness. For all their many gifts, the Eldrin are a dying people, whose essence fades with each generation. When the ancient Mother of Shadows came to them promising renewed strength in exchange for absolute loyalty, most swore themselves to her service. When Niss and her clan refused to bow to the Precursors, most were slain, but Niss escaped into exile. She has sworn to destroy the immortal beings who have corrupted her people, whatever the cost. Niss is a grim and deadly warrior, a silent assassin who strikes from the shadows. But as an Echo returned from the gloom, there's much she cannot remember. She knows she endured countless hardships in her time of exile, but the details escape her. She remembers challenging the Mother of Shadows, but not how she survived. Arcane power flows through Kairos, and he can unleash this force to devastate his enemies. He's the last survivor of a forgotten civilization, a wizard who transformed his flesh into pure mystical energy. Though his people are long lost, he's sworn to keep the gloom from destroying the world that remains. There's a place known as the Kingdom of Ashes. Bones are scattered across beaches of black sand, and charred remnants of crystal spires still reach toward the sky. This has been a shunned ruin for thousands of years, but Kyros still remembers it as it once was. A glorious civilization whose achievements dwarf those of the Avar Imperium or the Maze. He remembers studying of the nature of reality itself, and even learning how to transcend his own flesh to becoming a being of pure mystical energy, bound to a skeleton of arkstone and crystal. While he possesses devastating power, Kairos is first and foremost a scientist. He is determined to stop the gloom. He will not watch another civilization be destroyed, but he believes the key of defeating the gloom is to understand it. Kyros is a deadly war mage and a brilliant researcher, but has been lost into the void for countless centuries, and there's much he has forgotten or never knew. What became of his people? How did his wondrous nation become the Kingdom of Ashes? And did he have something to do with it? The answers must be out there, waiting to be found. Swift and precise, Silo makes every shot count. Born into a family of smugglers, he spent his life running under the radar and challenging tyrants. Now he's using those same skills to fight the gloom. Silo loves long odds. The greater the challenge, the greater the thrill. Before the Gloomfall, the Strike Syndicate was a network of smugglers and mercenaries who played both sides in the endless conflict between the Avar Imperium and the Maze. While many saw the Strikes as criminals, they lived by a code. Silo was born Silas Vex. The Vexes were the leaders of the Syndicate and made sure that the Strike served the common people of the West Reach. Silo was an exceptional Strike, an excellent marksman with a knack of designing explosives and arcane gadgets. But he always felt the shadow of his parents, the expectation that he would eventually assume the mantle of leadership. Silo is a clever scoundrel, equally quick with a quip and a blade. He remembers grand heists and feasts with the people of the West Reach, but as an echo returned from the gloom, his memories are incomplete. Silo doesn't remember what happened to his parents, or how he came to be in Skylight when the Gloomfall struck. In this broken world, the Strikes have become a menace. What has Silo forgotten? Venomous is a deadly spy from the Maze, and her poisons have changed the course of history. But the gloom has swallowed both the Maze and the Empire, and her secret war is over. Ven's a survivor, and for now the Seekers are the only game in town. Before the fall, the name Venomous was feared among the Imperial ranks. Those unfortunate enough to have put the face to the name seldom survived. Venomous is a spy and assassin from a nation of monsters, born of cold and poisonous blood. In her time, she's broken into so-called impenetrable vaults, stolen secrets from the Avar throne itself, and brought down more Archon commanders and master spellsmiths with her toxins than entire regiments. Born in the Maze, her closest friends are goblins and battle beasts, and though she looks human, appearances, like most things when it comes to Ven, can be deceiving. A brilliant alchemist and inventor, Venomous has always preferred stalking prey in the shadows to mixing salves in a workshop. Most of all, Ven craves a challenge, and the gloom is the greatest challenge of all. Venomous believes the Avar Imperium was an oppressive, warmongering regime and devoted her life to toppling it. Now, the Empire has finally fallen, consumed by the gloom, but all she hoped to protect in the Maze has been lost as well. Ven may not care for Wingrave or the other Imperial soldiers among the Seekers, but she recognizes that her Cold War is over. In the wake of the Gloomfall, survival is the only thing that matters, and Venomous intends to survive, no matter the cost. And there we have it, a brief backstory for each Wayfinder heading into early access. More stories will continue to unfold and will be there every step of the way. As always, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. Let me know in the comments which Wayfinder you're most excited to learn about. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.